Hello, our friends, Hearts OMMM, EEARTS, and Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there. Welcome back.
As always, guys, please make sure you subscribe to all three channels. Each one's going to have unique topics on it. So, what in the world could be stronger than the love of a mother for her kids?
I don't know really too many things other than something like white on rice or breathing.
Yeah, absolutely. And, everything that we see with this world, really, when we look at everything, all the problems, in so many ways, it all comes down to a disconnect from our mother.
It does. And there's so many things in this world that are mimicking the natural way of things, the natural order of things. It is this type of perpetual energy that is constantly wanting to mimic what is true, what is real, mimic the things that we came here to experience. And in that, we definitely have quite a bit of a split in this reality through people who are coming after those things that are natural and true, and then those people who are going down the road of the inorganic.
Yes. And really, the mother she's the organic. She is the organic everything, the natural order. Everything comes through the mother. The mother is the birth of, as Lao Tzu would say, the 10,000 things. It again is all about harmony and balance of mind, body, breath, mind, body, spirit. And our mother has been taken from us in so many ways by the system. The system, again, is always supplanting, as Cindy was saying, the natural with the unnatural. And the first thing that you would have to do in order to control humanity is unground and unroot. And if we are no longer, as you look at this picture, what do we see? We see, a beautiful picture of mother and child, both going to go play some beautiful music together. And there they are, and he's got little shoes on, she's got little shoes on. Again, rubber too, which is going to interfere with the grounding. So it's even though this is a beautiful picture, in some ways it's also telling us of our separation, in that we're no longer feeling the mother under our feet. Here, obviously, the love of a mother is in the heart and still shining forth. But we're disconnected. We're not always grounding, rooting, and realizing again the greater whole. So, when we leave this world, we leave the body behind. The body is from the mother. And, that part of us which is eternal, when we want to come and learn again, we ask the mother to, provide another vehicle. She provides the vehicle. We have the experiences. We learn and grow. Think about it, how your parents are there for you, or hopefully were there for you, as we know, in this dysfunctional world. And really, again, this is why the world is so dysfunctional. This is why parents and parenting has gotten to be such a, not ideal thing, the way that this world brings up kids. It's all part of that disconnect. Because we're disconnected from Mother Earth, and not just Mother Earth, but the bigger mother, the mother of the entire cosmos, the mother of the universe, the mother of every universe. Again, as above, so below, as within, so without. The disconnection is the thing that allows all that separation. It allows for the division. The very first thing, a control system that wants to take absolute control over the minds and bodies of as many as it possibly could, is going to have to do is disconnect us from our mother.
Mm-hmm. And, I just saw such a really good example of what happens when we are wearing rubber soles and we are not grounding. I saw someone get just a simple voltmeter, and they put one end in the ground, and then they were holding the other end of it, and they would stand on their rubber shoes, and you could see that voltmeter make really extreme, the numbers go down in a very big way. And then they would step off of the rubber shoes onto the earth herself, and still holding on to that needle, and then the numbers skyrocket. They go the other way. So, and there's also so many studies about us grounding. Just grounding for 10 minutes can strengthen your blood cells. They've had people's blood when they were ungrounded and checked them, and they're not functioning very well. And then they had them ground for 10 minutes, check the blood, and you can see obviously these blood cells are functioning in a very proficient way.
Interaction of mother and child on the beach with the elements, air, earth, fire, water, and of course spirit is soaring because of the love of the mother and the child. When we think and we look to some of the headlines, one of the last headlines that I was reading before we did mantras was again saying that the USA administration seriously considering completely blocking out the light of the sun in order to mitigate climate change. And again, we understand the bigger picture with that, because again, the sun in so many ways, well, the sun is a relay for source. It's also a relay for the creator of this universe, which, for Cindy and I, the name that we've gotten is Vishnu from our interaction with the entity Vishnu. But Vishnu is just one name. Again, the creator of this universe would be known by countless names, because there's countless different planets with countless different life forms. So that's just something for us to recognize that entity as. But that entity is thought of as male, masculine. And again, the creation itself is thought of as yin, as feminine, as basically our mother. We are in the playground that has been created by the Father Spirit, the Earth Mother, Father Sky in some Native American traditions, and Mother Earth. It's a simple way to think of things. It's a very simple way, but it is very appropriate at the same time. Again, we can refer this down to that interaction, here, and even when we're given the Trinity concept of Father, Son, and then Holy Spirit, and then some have said, well, the Holy Spirit's got to be feminine, just knowing there's got to be a balance. There's got to be a balance, but there is no balance in anything that the system gives us. And it's again, purposeful. If we're in balance and in harmony, we will just blossom and grow and thrive, and we'll recognize that interconnectedness of all things. And of course, the control system will just crumble away before our very eyes. We'll quickly realize all the fallacies, inaccuracies, and just outright lies that are given to us when we look to the Tao, the Tao Te Ching, the I Ching. When you look at the I Ching and you look at the balance of opposites, this just is so obvious. It should be so obvious that there has to be opposing forces to give dynamism, to give it the dynamic, to have motion, to have creation. It's the interaction. And again, you see a little yin in the yang and a little yang in the yin. And that's fine. This is the interaction of what we might call spirit and matter. It's, again, another way of looking at it is the union of Shiva and Shakti. And Shiva can be interpreted as that which is not. And, Shakti is power. It's in power in the form of the divine feminine and the manifestation. Again, the union of consciousness, which is immaterial, in the material for the benefit of consciousness. because it's a playground to explore. It goes back to the original. It's a playground to explore. Explore music. That's just one vehicle. We come here to learn, to grow, and also to play. Absolutely. Again, you must be born again. Yeah, reborn outside of the system, outside of the parameters that the system gives us, and become childlike in all things. We shared with you Bes. Bes is an Egyptian deities, actually what you would call an extraterrestrial, fourth density, that comes from Orion. And Orion, the Orion group per se, is a darker, or perceived to be darker, set of entities. But Bes is not dark, and no, there is light in the darkness. Just like we can't call we can't say all beings of any particular persuasion are evil or good. And even in the darkness, there's still the light. It all is just a matter of, the two wolves. What do we want to feed? So, again, Bes is a fun-loving but yet very studious being that helped to guide humans in the Bronze Age and some of the Silver.
Great sense of humor and a very about him. And when I look at how my journey on this planet has been, talk about being reborn. Reborn, activated. Your energy completely changes. You are raised up in this world with so many understandings, and then you become activated and you realize that everything that you were raised with is not. And I am a completely different person than I was when I was younger. My whole belief system has completely changed. I feel very confident in saying I have been reborn, and we all have this at our fingertips if we want to. Looking at an energetic point of view, we have to have sound and light, and when we put it together, we have form, and this form takes shape in our bodies, it takes shape in our pets, it takes shape in the trees. So looking to see what these two energies coming together become is so magnificent. And then we look at the human body, and we look at the human body and what it can do. The Kundalini is very much like an onion. It is activated, but it's also unfolding. I have found this to be throughout the lifespan. It is constantly, you can ignite it, and then you take care of this energy, and it grows and it expands. But the biggest thing that it does is it changes you. And this is something they definitely don't want going mainstream, because if people could understand the changes that occur inside of them when you do activate this energy, we would have the ability to come together and be very much like take control of that experience that we came here to have. We would be taking our power back if we were able to openly talk about this. Now, I always do throw it out there when we're talking about Kundalini, is it is so important to heal your traumas, because when the energy changes, it actually creates, it's a different chemical reaction in your body, and you yourself will change. All of those things that have built up trauma-wise are going to come knocking at your front door, because it's energy, and wherever the Kundalini is pressing, wherever it is needed, it's going to go to there, and it's going to create this magnetic effect, bringing this information to you for you to hopefully overcome. So, I always talk about this in the sense where if you're doing the right thing will happen. You don't want to just try to unlock these abilities, because it can lead to a bit of a mess if you do something spontaneous or something that's irresponsible. So it does, to me, I respect it a lot. I respect this energy so, so much, and I treat it as such.
Absolutely. So when you're looking at all this and you see, some that appear to be orange or orangish red and some white, again, the Ida and the Pingala, the masculine and feminine nadis, where these intersect is where the chakras are. Where the chakras are, there are nerve plexuses in the body. When you keep people in trauma of various sorts, they shut down the nerve complexes. And just think about this too. I mean, just imagine again, you get on the phone call and all of a sudden, somebody's sick. You feel it in the pit of your stomach. It's literally shutting down a chakra. You get somebody yelling at you, screaming at you, and you feel like you can't, verbalize what you want to say. It's shutting down the throat chakra. This is all about shutting down the dynamic flow of the masculine and feminine energies, keeping people from realizing their innate potential. And here you see wings, like wings of an angel, right? Well, when the light of your eye is single and it's filled with light, you are building your Merkaba. And your Merkaba, again, is the vehicle that can take us through different densities up into 5D and beyond. And we could travel anywhere. You just simply go into a meditative state and you leave the body. They can't have you knowing this. They can't have you understanding all this. This is where they've used all sorts of childish lies and distortions to keep you in a state of perpetual lockdown. But again, this is truly being born again, and really it all starts with the love of the mother and the recognition of the love of the mother. You wouldn't go and just spill toxic waste all over your mother, but yet we do constantly. You wouldn't let your mother, you wouldn't go park and dump her off somewhere where there's a nuclear spill, radioactive runoff. You wouldn't go put her in the middle of a wildfire, that's burning down some chemical plant. No, but it's done to your mother all the time. And this is creating that separation between us and her and us and the rest of her children. And the ages that are coming again, you will find the animals will start to trust again. And there's some individuals that they do trust. There are many beings that have remained hidden from humanity purposely because they can't trust humanity. We've been completely cut off again from that aspect of things, the mother. And that's what leaves us ungrounded, unrooted, and that's what leaves us, again, in the Kali Yuga. Our lifespan is a blink of an eye compared to our lifespan when we're in a golden age. And when we look to Shiva and Shakti, again, in many ways you're looking at the union of spirit with matter. There is a symbolism there, absolutely. But we can use different techniques to reconnect with the mother. One thing we could do is the mantras. And I was doing the mantra to Lakshmi when this came through. And it was, I feel like Lakshmi wanted me to reiterate again. Connect with the mother, because we're here to love you and to protect you and guide you. And whenever the weather gets crazy, we've had a tornado form straight over our head. What do? We sit still. We go sit down, we grab our mala beads, and we start doing mantras. And we're protected. We are very protected because we're connecting to the mother. They don't want you connecting to the mother. She's right here. She's right here all the time. She's very accessible. I've mentioned to you guys before, after going as a child and a teenager to like every single possible religious temple, church, synagogues even, you name it. I started going to some different pagan ceremonies, and I did a ritual myself connecting with the mother energy. As soon as I got done with the ritual, I asked for a sign. Immediately it was answered. Immediately. Clear. I mean, just boom, like that. Because she's right here. She's here the whole time.
I mean, it's your desire and your want to connect with her and staying organic and doing things like deliberately grounding. If you're not able to get outside and get barefoot, tend to your plants. If you have them, if you don't, really get them and spend some time with them, because that's another way to connect and ground and build this energy force within you to help bring you a lot of loving peace and to help put you on your path.
Absolutely. So, again, use these mantras. There's right here one to Lakshmi. Here's one for protection that calls up Durga. And it doesn't get any more powerful than Durga in the manifested realm.
No, I mean, Durga is definitely my go-to, especially if it's something that has to do with a particularly large problem. She's definitely one that I go straight to her.
Yeah, and again, Durga is thought to be the culmination and the mixture of all the goddess energies into one. Here we have one to Aset, Isis, who we know, very well. And here is one to Kuan Yin. So if you want to cultivate some more compassion in your life, definitely use Kuan Yin. Here's one to Tara, Adi Shakti, the Gayatri. These are fabulous tools that are completely transformative. Again, the people that we have worked with, and we've worked with thousands of people, one-to-one basis, thousands of people. The ones that do the best are the ones that start to integrate the mantras in, and they integrate them regularly, and they soar. It's the ones that have been resistant to using the mantras that usually have a little bit tougher time, a little bit more up and down, because these mantras can immediately connect us to the higher densities, immediately.
Right, connect us to a positive density. And some people get hung up in the idea that, oh, I'm worshiping some deity, but what you're doing is you're learning specific sounds in a specific order that actually can plug you into that deity's energy. But it's not that you're worshiping them. They do take this energy, they'll magnify it, and they'll give it back, but no one is asking anyone to worship them. I look at it as a very scientific method. These beings knew how to allow you to plug into the etheric realm in a way that assists you and guides you and helps you benefit your life path. So yes, these words, these sounds, they repattern your energy body. And when you are repatterned, your energy is going to blend in with higher self, helping you, guiding you to make decisions that would come directly from higher self, directly from a higher source. But it is not any form of worship. These beings are so far beyond that, and they're so far beyond being jealous of one another. They're here to assist humanity in whatever way, shape, or form that looks like.
Absolutely. And so we have all these shorts which can help you with them. These are beautiful, beautiful, beautiful tools. This one is a really particularly pretty one, and there are versions of these out there. So you could search this and find other versions out there that you might resonate with more, and that's wonderful. So like this one is Kara Agre, Vasite, Lakshmi, Kara Mule, Sarasvati, Kara Made, Tu Govinda, Prahabate, Kara Darshanam. And it's beautiful because what it is basically doing is pulling in the love, the wisdom, the strength into our lives of these divine beings. And so what you're asking is, give me, your strength, grant me your wisdom, let me see, how I can become the highest, most positive, best version of myself. It's just that simple.
Mm-hmm. And isn't that what we've come here to do?
Absolutely. As always, guys, thanks for your support over on Patreon and Ko-Fi. Much love. God bless and namaste.
Namaste.